So how many of us feel stressed out at work, at home, being overwhelmed by emotions sometimes, so much so that we shut down? How many of you? And so sometimes we can feel like we need to unplug. We need to push those emotions down and disengage from them just to get through the day, often feeling like a robot, just going through the motions. How many of you feel like that day to day? Well, we don't have to do that anymore. And what I'm hoping to do is introduce the fact that if we get in touch with our emotions, get in touch with our human side, we can put that autopilot off and reconnect. And not only on a personal level and impacting our home life, but also our work life and the way we engage with others. And we can do that by becoming the pilots of our life. So when we become the pilots of our life, we're taking positive psychological interventions and using them to be really simple. And one of them is the permission to be human. This one's my favorite. It came from a place, drew my family out of a place of crisis. So this is when we accept how we feel with compassion and without judgment. How many of you have consoled a friend or a colleague who was going through something? You told them it was going to be okay. Do that for yourself. Don't push your emotions down. It takes intentional choices to actually make these interventions work. 40%. We have 40% influence over our intentional choices and how they can impact our well-being. So choosing activities to express love, gratitude, interest, serenity, joy, finding moments where we can express these and feel these can turn our negative emotions, the things that take over, to reversing the effects of those negative emotions and pushing us upward. So just imagine the power of that. And then what happens when you actually share that with someone else? Leaning into people at work, at home, connecting with them, making high quality connections. You're not only impacting your day, but you're brightening up their day too. So just imagine the impact and the synergy that that creates. It energizes us. We need to be open to these opportunities. And being open to opportunities means that we can engage and learn something new. Because if we don't learn new things, we don't grow. And all the part of learning and building our resiliency is to navigate those minor challenges so that we can take on the bigger ones when they do happen. So it expands our minds and our abilities to deal with things that are unexpected, and it opens new pathways to achieve things that we never thought possible. So talking through our challenges is really important. So again, we're engaging with people and bringing them in, creative minds, solutions, things that we would never have thought about, relying on people. That's really important so that we can celebrate our successes as well as getting through those challenges supported and not alone. Because it's when we're in isolation, that's where the darkness can creep in. So what do we want to do? We want to become the pilots of our life. We want to give ourselves the permission to be human. We want to make intentional choices to boost our positive emotions. We want to lean in on our people so that we know they're there and they know we are. We want to also be open to opportunities, and we want to talk through our challenges because these are the elements that make life worth living. So just imagine if this is what it's doing for us on an individual level, imagine the impact that practicing pilot at work could have on your teams, bringing the human back into HR, helping your people discover the pilot in them. Imagine the impact it could have on an organizational level. What difference could it make in the performance, productivity, engagement, and retention of your people? How many of you think that it would be a positive move? It would, because we are all human. And so when we bring the human back into HR, we're connecting our systems. And that's how we thrive together. Instead of being on an autopilot and just surviving, trying to get through our day, now we're thriving and building towards what's possible and taking our potential. So stand up right now if you're ready to take off and take this back to your organization and bring your people to the runway. and help them reach new heights. Up, up, up. Let's go. Yes, that's what we want. We want to reach new heights. Thank you.